Is there a housing bubble? Are prices coming down? Are there more homes for sale? These are the questions that I'm getting every single day right now. So I wanted to bring you the May statistics for the Denver metro residential real estate market. Hi, I'm Sam Wilson with the Sam Wilson Home Selling Team, and I'm really just bringing you the facts, and I've drawn some conclusions based on these facts. So I'm going to highlight 3 different pages of this month's report and help us get our head around and get a grip on what's actually happening and what you can do as a seller or buyer to take advantage of the opportunities, because there are opportunities on both sides. So here's one of the biggest questions we get right now. My home's been on the market for 10 days and I don't have an offer or a contract yet. My home's been on the market for the whole weekend and I only got one offer at the asking price. How come I don't have offers over asking? My house has been on the market for 4 days, one whole weekend. Today's Monday, and how come I don't have multiple offers yet? Well, these are the things that were happening. And the reality is, these things aren't happening right now. Now, could that change as we move into the summer? Maybe, but honestly, I have to doubt it. And I'll show you why here with the actual numbers and the reports that are available to us. But things are changing, and there aren't going to be as many buyers in the market, and there will be more listings to choose from. We are far from a buyer's market. We're still at less than 1 month of inventory. It's still a seller's market. It's just not as extreme as it's been since June of 2020, when we started to feel the effects of the pandemic. So we just have to adjust our approach and somewhat our expectations. Um, Side note, I hate the cliche manage expectations. We can't manage expectations. An expectation is an opinion, and our job is to simply educate so that your expectations are somewhat in line with what is actually about to happen. So there's a big difference there. We can talk about that if you want to give me a shout. But here's the overall market. This is the Denver Metro. Again, this is the 11 county area that I report every single month. So first of all, we can see that month over month listings are up 44%. Year over year listings are up 23, 24%. Those are good numbers, but let's keep in mind that the reality here is that's not a lot of actual units. That's a big percentage number because we have a low base. And on the chart I'm going to show you, you're going to see that this number is about half of where we need to be heading back to a balanced market because of demand, even in today's world of rising interest rates. So a couple other interesting points here. Year over year, the closings are down, but month over month, they're about flat, up 3%. Again, not a lot of units, so the percentages are less important than the actual number here. The important thing is, if you look at the difference, you're seeing more homes selling than there are actively available, right? More homes are selling right here, 4,900, than are actively available, 3,200. That's an extreme demand, and that's a seller's market for sure. And that's why I can look into the camera and say that supply is less than demand. Demand is exceeding supply. Therefore, homes are selling super fast still, and it's still a strong buyer's market. I'm sorry, strong seller's market. Let me close that so it stops interrupting us. So the next piece is average close price. While it's still up versus prior year, it is flattening in the current year. Flattening, not going down. And this number here, we were up 25,000 average sales price dollars versus the prior month. So appreciation is slowing. Now, I know that sounds silly, but instead of rising $50,000 a month, it only rose about $25,000 in the past month. So we'll look at some trend on that. Same thing with median pricing. So here's what's interesting is only 8 days on market, and that's down versus prior month and down versus prior year. So I think, and this is speculation, I'll admit, based on the clients we are working with, people are scrambling to buy up as much as they can before interest rates go up even more. So interest rates are up from 3.5% to 5.5% just since December. What this means for you as a buyer, if you're getting financing for your home, then your payments are about a third higher than they were just 6 months ago. So that's important. You're paying more for probably a smaller house because prices are also going up. So with this is a lagging indicator because it was last month before the Fed raised rates another 0.5 point, which is beginning to affect mortgage rates as well. That's a whole different discussion about how rates affect the Federal Reserve rate affects the mortgage rate, but they're close cousins. So suffice to say, as the Fed raises rates, so will bankers and the mortgage rate will follow. So as a result, I think there was a lot of pressure on buyers to get out there and make decisions. As listings were going up, there was more to choose from. So the next page is, I'm going to skip over to a very interesting page here about demand and trend. So on this page, and by the way, there's always a link to this in my blog, so you can go look at it. Again, I just report the facts. And this report, you can peruse all 20 pages of it at any time. Just click on the link in the blog. So a couple of interesting statistics here relative to today. Record high active listings were in May of 2008, and you can see that right here. So this is 2008. The yellow line is active listings. So look how extreme that was. Now today we're at an extreme low, or I guess as of January, we're at extreme record low active listings. Here's what's interesting. Look at this. The demand curve has not changed that much. Back when listings were extremely high at over 26,000 listings, the average summer months were running about 5,000 sales. Last year in 2020, that went up to 7,000. So the demand curve is pretty flat, relatively speaking, when you factor in things like population growth, new home construction, coming out of the recession. This is not that extreme, and you can see that every year it's the same. There's more demand in the summer months, and this year we can already see that increasing as we get into May. So what's interesting is that it's clearly a supply issue. Yeah, demand's a little bit higher, but look at 2021. It was only 6,500 homes at the peak, when in 2008, coming out of the recession, it was 5,000. And then you can see it hasn't changed that much since about 2014. So it really is a supply issue, with the demand curve remaining pretty flat. Now, as listings do increase and maybe demand comes down a little bit due to the extreme rise in mortgage rates, we are headed toward, or all indications are, that we're headed toward a more balanced market. Okay, more of a market where buyers will have choices with a little less pressure, and sellers will still sell in 30 days or less, but there may not be the extreme one weekend where price or offers are bidding on top of each other. People are waiving appraisals and inspections. I don't think that's going to continue. All indications are that we are going to have a more balanced market heading throughout 2022. But what does this mean? Well, it means that prices may continue to rise at a more normal rate, like 3 to 5% price increases. not the extreme 17, 18, 19, and 20% month over month increases and year over year that we have been seeing. It's got to become a more steady and slower growth rate as interest rates rise. So if more buyers have to get financing, then you can see how that will pan out. Now, sellers are going to have to adjust their expectations. So back to that conversation. Oops, let me go to the pricing page. So I'm sorry, page 10. All right, I'm gonna have to do it the slow way here. So on page 10, this is where we've seen since the first of the year some extreme appreciation, and you can already see here it's starting to flatten out a little bit. So appreciation is slowing. Prices are still growing, but appreciation is slowing. Most predictions are that through the summer, we'll see this flatten even more and just expand throughout the summer on a more like 3 to 5% growth rate month over month. So buyers will not have the kind of pressure, and sellers will not have the extreme run-ups in most price ranges. So sellers, if you don't get multiple offers in the first weekend, or you only get list price or near list price offers, that's the market adjusting to what's happening in the bigger picture. It's nothing to be alarmed about, and buyers should not be sitting on the sidelines waiting for prices to come down. It just isn't a reality in the near future, because demand is still exceeding supply, especially in the Denver metro area. Now, be careful what you're watching and listening to, because what's being reported nationally may not affect the hotter markets like the Denvers and San Diegos of the world, where there's still extreme demand and people wanting to move and live here. So with that, I would say the summary here is that it's still a good seller's market. It's just that sellers may not see the extreme offers and bidding wars, and buyers should have more choices and be able to make a less pressured decision, but should certainly get out there now through the summer before rates continue to increase. If, as always, you would like to find out how much your home is worth, if you'd like to find out how many buyers there are in the market for it and how long it'll take to sell, please call, text, email me anytime. It's always free. There's never any obligation. If you're a buyer wondering about listings that are available, or what your payments might look like, or what homes you'll have to choose from, again, call, text, email me anytime, because we also still have access to buy first programs. So if you're a seller and have a home to buy, there are ways very affordably to buy first, so you don't get stuck with two homes or without a home at all. A guaranteed sale program, if you will. So please contact me. Reach out if you want to discuss any of this. Myself, someone on my team will be happy to chat with you, tell you what the opportunities are, and whether it's a good decision for you or not. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.